Hey blues fans, welcome. Glad you made it. Time for another episode of This Week in the Blues, our weekly take on blues history. I'm your host and guide on this trip, Jimbo Big Train Madsen, with the blues band Big Train and the Locomotives. We have a great episode this week, so let's take a look and see what happened this week in blues history.
Louisiana Red was born March 23rd in 1932 in Bessemer, Alabama. He lost his parents early in life, his mother from pneumonia soon after his birth, and his father was lynched by the Ku Klux Klan in 1937. He was brought up by a series of relatives in various towns and cities. Born Iverson Mintner, Red recorded for Chess Records in 1949 before joining the Army. Now, after leaving the Army, he played with John Lee Hooker in Detroit for 2 years in the late 1950s. He recorded for Checker Records in 1952, billed as Rocky Fuller, kind of like Louisiana Red better. On March 23, 1956, Fats Domino headlines the first day of a 3-day concert organized by the DJ Alan Freed in Hartford, Connecticut. Over the course of the shows, 11 fans are arrested by overzealous police. It's a litmus test for rock concerts and their effect on young people, as psychiatrist Francis Braceland testifies afterwards that rock music is a communicable disease, with music appealing to adolescent insecurity and driving teenagers to do outlandish things. It's cannibalistic and tribalistic. That's what he said. Now, I think someone just needs to prescribe themselves Xanax and chill out. Louisiana rhythm and blues guitarist Boogie Bill Webb was born March 24th, 1924 in Jackson, Mississippi. His music combined Mississippi country blues with New Orleans R&B. His best-known recordings are Bad Dog and Drinkin' and Stinkin'. He moved to New Orleans in 1952 and became friends with Fats Domino. Now, Webb relocated to Chicago, where he worked in factories, and there he met and played with Muddy Waters, John Lee Hooker, Jimmy Reed, and Chuck Berry. Wrecking Crew bassist Carol Kaye was born March 24th, 1935. She is one of the most prolific recorded bass guitarists in rock and pop music, playing on an estimated 10,000 recordings in a career spanning 50 years. Kaye began playing guitar in her early teens, and after some time as a guitar teacher, began to perform regularly in the Los Angeles jazz and big band circuit. She started session work in 1957, and after a bass player failed to turn up for a session in '63, she switched to bass and quickly made a name for herself as one of the most in-demand session players in the 1960s. And just a note, she hated the word wrecking crew as a descriptor of the collective group of studio musicians she was a part of. Harmonica legend Lee Oskar was born on March 24th, 1946. Oskar has been described as the harmonica whiz and considered among the best blues rock soul harmonica players. In 1983, Oskar formed a company to manufacture high-quality harmonicas. His company, Lee Oskar Harmonica, sells harmonicas suited to many different styles of music, and Oskar's altered tunings allows players to explore other genres such as tango, reggae, Latin, Asian, and many more. When Junior Wells died, he was buried with a tray of Lee Oskar harmonicas. The Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, was born March 25th in 1942. With global sales of over 75 million records, Franklin is one of the world's best-selling music artists and one of the most influential and important voices in pop history. Franklin began her career as a child, singing gospel. At the age of 18, she embarked on a music career as a recording artist and found success in 1966. Commercial hits such as Respect, Chain of Fools, and Think are part of our pop and soul music vernacular. Blues singer and musician Junior Parker was born March 27, 1932 in Bobo, Mississippi. He's best remembered for a voice described as honeyed and velvet smooth. He was inducted in both the Blues Hall of Fame and Mississippi Musicians Hall of Fame. Now, around 1950, he began performing with a coalition of performers in Memphis known as the Beale Streeters, which included Bobby Blue Bland and B.B. King. Parker died in November 18, 1971, at the age of 39 in Blue Island, Illinois, during surgery for a brain tumor. Blues guitarist Robert Lockwood Jr. was born March 27, 1915. He learned his blues firsthand from an unimpeachable source, the immortal Robert Johnson, and was one of the last living links to the glorious Johnson legacy. Now, Lockwood was capable of creating that bone-chilling Johnson sound whenever he desired. Lockwood settled in Chicago in 1950 and became an in-demand session musician, recording and performing over the following decades. Texas blues guitarist and singer Johnny Copeland was born March 27, 1937 in Haynesville, Louisiana. He is the father of blues singer Shamika Copeland. Now, Johnny Copeland was influenced by T-Bone Walker and formed the Dukes of Rhythm in Houston, Texas, and made his recording debut in 1956. Although his early records met with little commercial success, he became a popular touring act over the following decades. In 1983, he was named Blues Entertainer of the Year by the Blues Foundation. In 2017, Copeland was posthumously inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. Chicago and electric blues guitarist, singer, and songwriter Eddie Taylor Jr. was born March 27, 1973. He released 6 studio albums and a compilation album of his better-known tracks, all on the European-based label Wolf Records. Among the musicians who worked in Taylor's backing band was his fellow guitar player Johnny B. Moore. Taylor also supported other musicians, including Moore, Little Arthur Duncan, Willie Kent, and Hubert Sumlin, plus Buddy Guy, Keith Richards, Eric Clapton, and Billy Gibbons. Chicago's boogie-woogie piano player, cripple Clarence Lofton, was born way back on March 28, 1887. There is uncertainty over when and where he was born. Some say 1887 in Kingsport, Tennessee, and others say 1896 or 1897 in Burns, Tennessee. Regardless, he was born and not hatched somewhere in Tennessee. Now, Lofton was born with a limp, which is how he earned his stage name. He actually began his career as a tap dancer, then started playing boogie-woogie piano and settled in Chicago. He definitely had an energetic stage presence, and in addition to singing, he would also dance and whistle as well as sing. Blues singer Mary Johnson was born March 29th in either 1898 or 1900 in Yazoo City, Mississippi. Prior to her recording career, Johnson relocated to St. Louis, Missouri in 1915, where in her teenage years, she worked with several of the leading blues musicians of the time. Now, she married blues guitarist Lonnie Johnson. She recorded 22 tracks between 1929 and 1936. Her most noted tracks are Dream Daddy Blues and Western Union Blues. She wrote several of the songs she recorded, including Barrel House Flat Blues, Key to the Mountain Blues, and Black Men Blues. Austin, Texas blues guitarist and singer Sue Foley was born March 29th in 1968. This highly touted musician originally hails from Ottawa, Canada, although her home base shifted to Austin when she signed with Antone's Records and cut her debut set, Young Girl Blues, in 1992. I was lucky enough to catch her show live recently, and not only is her guitar work impressive, I loved her new spin on old blues classics and her versatility on both electric and acoustic guitars. To top it off, She's just a genuinely nice person who took time after the show to chat. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or the things that happened this week in the blues, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a brand new episode next week. We'll see you then.